heard somebody say the other day something that's very common. If you're in a relationship, there should be no secrets kept between the two of you. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be in that relationship. That's a recipe for disaster as far as I'm concerned. While I agree that you don't want to keep secrets from your mate that affects them, you wouldn't want to deceive your partner and keep information from them that is important to them. But I don't want to tell anybody all of my secrets. I don't care who you are. I consider secrets to be sacred. And in fact, the root word of secrecy is sacredness. In order to be powerful in magic, we must learn to keep secret that which we desire to give power to. When we make something secret, we give it power. This is why a good psychotherapist will always try to get you to talk about whatever it is that you're keeping secret that is causing you pain. Because usually if your secret is being kept secret because of some shame, then what you're doing is giving power to shame. And we don't want to do that. So we don't encourage keeping shame-based secrets. If you have something that you feel ashamed of, obviously you don't need to tell everybody about it, but you might really consider finding a therapist or a good friend or a spiritual mentor or somebody that you can unload and let go of it so that it no longer has power over you. But if you're involved with magic and you start talking about that which is sacred to you, to everybody or to anybody sometimes, other than maybe one or two people that can help you, you are dissipating the energy that you have been so succinctly trying to build and contain. If you consider your thought form like a balloon, when you talk about it, when you break secrecy, it's like you're puncturing the balloon. You're giving form to your thought form through words. And you don't want the form manifest through words. You want it to be manifest through whatever the end result that you desire. Keeping secrets is very sacred. I love my secrets, and nobody will get to know all of my secrets. Those are mine. Those are between me and the infinite, between me and spirit. It's not up to anybody to extract from me my secrets unless I decide that I'm going to divulge them. And there is nothing shame-based in my secrets. And I do not feel guilty for not sharing my secrets with anybody, including a significant other, including good friends, including anybody whatsoever on the face of the earth. I do not feel guilty for keeping my secrets, and nor should you. And if you don't have any secrets, I recommend that you start. Secrets are beautiful. They are powerful. If we take our cue from nature, everything powerful happens in secrecy. Babies gestate in a womb in secrecy. Seeds germinate in soil underground in secrecy. Everything that is beautiful and powerful happens in secrecy. By the time it is out in the open and the secret is over, it's already completed its magic. Just like if you were doing a spell for a car, when you get the car, everybody will know your secret. You won't have to tell the secret. It'll be obvious. But until that, you keep quiet about your desire for a car. You keep quiet about your business you're building. You keep quiet about the relationship you are attracting. You keep quiet about the health that you are obtaining, the debts that you are paying. Whatever it is, you keep quiet about it. And that is how you will build your power and allow yourself to have the success that you desire. No, we don't keep secrets that are based in shame, but we do keep secrets about wonderful things. And the more wonderful secrets you have, the better. There's this prevalent common narrative that everything must be transparent. Transparency is the big buzzword. No matter what it is, if you say the word transparency or transparent, everybody just falls in line and says, yes, you're right. We must be transparent. There's a lot of good things to be transparent about in certain parts of life. But transparency is not applicable to everything. Sometimes it's better to be extremely opaque about things. learning how to keep silent, learning how to button one's lip, learning how to not share things is extremely powerful. It's part of the ego's nonsense. It gets us going on these trends that are on the surface seemingly healthy, but when we look at them more objectively, they're not healthy at all. This trend that everything needs to be transparent. Everybody needs to be transparent about what they're doing. No secrets allowed in any important relationship. That's nonsense. If your relationship depends on you divulging all of your secrets, then that's not a good relationship. And in fact, most of the relationships that I know that keep no secrets from one another don't last very long. I give my partner the honor of having as many secrets as they need, keeping sacred everything that they need to keep sacred. And I trust that my partner doesn't keep things from me that affect me, that I would need to know in order to be functioning properly in the relationship. I have trust that they can keep secrets from me that are important to them that I don't need to know, and not keep secrets from me about information that affects me. That's a very healthy relationship. Whether it's a marriage, whether it's a friendship, it doesn't matter. Nobody has the right and the access to all of your secrets. And you should not feel bad about keeping things from people. I think sometimes when we work with that witch's pyramid, especially at first, which there are 4 sides to if you're not familiar with it, and those sides are faith, imagination, will, and secrecy. Frequently, when the people first hear about this and they hear the word secrecy, they automatically think that's negative, that that's bad. We've been trained that secrets are bad. Secrets are not bad. Secrets are holy. If we keep an unholy secret, that's misusing the power of secrecy. But that's not because secrecy in and of itself is bad. It's because we are keeping something secret because we're ashamed of it. That's not a good reason to keep something secret. Well, it's good in the moment if you don't want to get caught, but that's not the kind of secrets we're talking about. We're talking about secrets regarding what you believe, what you have faith in, your relationship with spirit, your goals, the things that are important to you, the things that you want to see happen. When you put something into secrecy, you make it sacred and give it power. If you understand anything about spellcasting, you know that not only do we keep it private from other people, we get to a point where we keep it private from ourselves. Once the spell is finished being cast, we cast it and we put it out of our mind and forget about it altogether. And so the secrecy goes full tilt because we know that that is what gives it the most power. Out of sight, out of mind, makes it boomerang back in a big way, which is, again, why you don't want to keep secrets that are unhealthy. You want to find a sounding board to unload those kind of secrets in order to dispel their power. But you do want to keep secret that which is important to you. You don't want to talk about it. We talk about way too many things in this world. Again, this is the demiurge's plan to get everybody out of their power by blabbing all the time. People overshare on social media. People overshare at dinner parties. People overshare all across the board. And when they do that, they don't understand because nobody has given them the occult knowledge that they are dissipating their power. They are deflating their balloon. Every time you blab about stuff, you are deflating your power. People that are quiet about their goals, quiet about their activities, quiet about their money, quiet about their romance, quiet about their health, all of those things get power over those areas in their lives when they don't waste their forces, their psychic forces, their magical forces within them. They're not depleting themselves by blabbing all about every little aspect of their lives. Not only is it going to be good for you magically, but it's going to be good for you socially. I guarantee you that people don't care. They may act like they do, but they don't care. They don't care about your life the way you think they do. They care about themselves. That's just how people are. We don't have to judge them for that. It's just how people are. There's a lot of good reasons to not talk to people about things. You can communicate. You can have honest communication with people without divulging every little thing. Who has a right to your secrets? Nobody. Just the infinite. You and your inner guide. Now, you may, if you're a fledgling witch especially, have a teacher or have some classmates or a support group where you can get some help on things. And that's not violating secrecy at that point because you need some education. So it's okay to divulge certain things, especially at the beginning, to get the help that you need to craft your magic appropriately so that you can get the results that you're looking for. I think a lot of our culture is becoming increasingly deflated because we overshare constantly. I know too much about people that I don't know at all. If I were to go through a feed on one of my social media accounts, I could learn so much about people that I don't want to know. And what they don't realize is how filled with holes their aura is from all of that oversharing, how unhealthy that is for them, how the more they do that, the less success they have. Whereas the people that keep quiet about their goals, people that keep quiet about their lives, people that keep sacred that which is important to them, they quietly succeed. And frequently you don't notice how successful they are until you step back and look at their lives and how well those lives are working. Unless you are wise enough to ask yourself, what's the difference between them and me? You won't understand that one of the main differences between them and you is that you talk all the time about stuff. You share all the time about things, and they don't. Sometimes in a situation like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, there are times when it's important to share the pain that you're going through, important to share because it takes the charge off of that. That secrecy no longer has power over you. But even within the context of an AA meeting, it's really good to know when to stop. It's really good to know when to stop. If you're in a group therapy discussion where there's a whole bunch of people and they're all sharing, it's good to share about the things that are unhealthy in your life at that moment that you've been keeping secret so that you can get it off of your chest and you can deflate that particular balloon. But you don't have to share everything. You don't have to share everything with those people. You can pick and choose. So even within the context of a therapeutic environment, a lot of people misunderstand and they think, oh, no more secrets. That's the way that I'll be healthy and stay healthy. No more sick secrets. No more shame-based secrets. But even in the context of sharing shame-based or sick secrets, you only share within the confines of very certain circumstances, such as a therapist's office or a group therapy or an AA meeting, etc. There still has to be some protection that you give yourself. When you're in a home, you have shelter. You have a roof, you have walls, you have insulation where you can heat or cool your home so that you have protection and comfort and you can thrive. Anybody that's got a very nice insulated home will thrive much better than somebody that doesn't have shelter. Nobody will probably argue with that. Your thought forms need the same kind of shelter. They need you to give them the same kind of shelter from prying eyes, prying ears. If you're doing group magic with some people, you have a few people and you're all going to work on magic with each other and you're each going to give your energy to one another's goals in a magical circle. But you have to have a very clear agreement that nothing leaves the confines of this space. You have to be able to trust those people to not divulge what it is that you're working on. Because if they do, they're not only deflating their own bubble, but they're deflating yours as well. It takes time to be able to build up trust with people that you can share secrets with in order to get their help magically. And until you have built up trust with somebody like that, I wouldn't recommend working magic with them because you don't know if your secret is safe with them. Secrecy is one of the most important aspects of effective magic. If you are in any kind of relationship where you feel like you're not allowed to have secrets, that needs to be addressed immediately. Because if you don't give yourself the freedom to have your sacred secrets, then you can't expect to be effective magically or in any area of your life. Every happy person has secrets, sacred, joyous secrets that they do not divulge. This idea that you must be transparent to everybody, that you must have transparency all the time, is ludicrous. Don't buy it. You don't owe anybody access to your secrets. I don't care who they are, unless it's a judge and you have to, under oath, say something. And that's not very common. Most of us can live through our lives without much of that. And even within that, there's going to be very rarely a reason for them to ask about your magic, to ask about your goals, to ask about what you believe. You have the right to keep your beliefs sacred and private. You have the right to keep your goals sacred and private. You have the right and the duty to keep your magic sacred and private. I've noticed that it's getting a lot harder and more challenging for people to feel safe to have their secrets. And I'm here to tell you that not only do you get permission to keep your secrets, your sacred magical secrets, I encourage you to have more of them. What do you want? If you took out a piece of paper and you asked yourself, what would I like more than anything? And you just started listing. If the sky was the limit and you could really have anything you wanted, be anything you wanted, or do anything you wanted, what would those things be? Those are your secrets. Keep those secret. And when you do keep those secret, you are creating a very powerful thought form. And those things will manifest. And everybody will already be privy to your secrets because it will be obvious. It will be obvious when you get that new car. It will be obvious when you get that new home. It will be obvious when you get that healing. And some of the things, when they manifest, won't ever be obvious. Nobody will ever know. Maybe you paid all of your credit card debt. They don't need to know that you had the debt in the first place, let alone that it was healed. That can be your special secret. You and the infinite. Sharing a secret is the most powerful, magical relationship that you can have. And if you overshare, you deplete your magic. It just runs out. So let's make a new commitment. We're not going to deplete our magic. We're not going to overshare. We're not going to talk about things that are important to us necessarily. There's a time and a place to talk about things that are important. But for the most part, when you've got goals, when you've got things in the works, when you have desires that you'd like to see manifest, those don't need to be discussed. In fact, if you stop discussing them, you're going to start seeing a lot of movement in the right direction in your life. Frequently, that is the big missing piece in people's effectiveness magically. Silence really is golden. When you can stop talking about certain things, you will notice that you plug up those leaks in your thought forms and things move very quickly and things start to happen out of the blue. And once you start to get that reinforcement, you're going to want to do it again and again and again and again. People might start noticing that you're not sharing as much as you used to, and they'll ask you what's wrong. And it's up to you not to draw a lot of attention to that. Oh, nothing's wrong. I'm great. You don't have to draw attention to the fact that you've got secrets. In fact, if you have secrets, no one should know that you have a secret. Back in World War II, if you were in the French Resistance during the German occupation, you wouldn't go around telling everybody, I'm in the French Resistance. Oh, I've got a secret. I'm not going to tell you. You wouldn't do that. You could get killed, right? You're not going to do that. So you're not going to get killed if you divulge your secrets, but you will kill the magic. It's not only keeping a secret, it's keeping that you have secrets, a secret. Learn how to live amongst everybody without them knowing what's going on. They don't need to know a thing. You learn how to dress like them. You learn how to chat like them without actually divulging anything. And when you learn how to do that, you start to live your life as one of the sacred magi who are the keepers of the secrets of the universe. They are the occult masters. And you become an occult master as you learn to keep things private, keep things sacred, keep things secret. And you learn how to dial it back and dial it down. You notice that your words start having more power because you're using them more intentionally rather than constantly blabbing about every little thing that's on your mind. Learning how to lock that down and stop wasting your power. It's huge. And you'll notice as you learn how to be much more conservative about your words, that you become so powerful. So powerful. And you can speak into existence things that you used to struggle with. Either sharing about how bad something was, or sharing about how good something is, or sharing about what you're working on, or what you want, or what you think, or what you believe. Blather kills magic. Blather kills magic. Now, I'm not telling you that you can never have a heart-to-heart conversation with people or have fun at a dinner party or a cocktail party. Of course you can. But watch what you're divulging. You learn how to listen more and speak less, and there is your power. When you plug up all those holes in the boat stops sinking. So when you plug up all the holes in your thought form manifests into reality. It's a very powerful technique, keeping silent and allowing your magic to grow in the safety of secrecy. Secrecy is power. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. Until next time, blessed be.